Hello everyone, it's me, the Preston, and today we're doing a Baldi's Basics Plus tier list video with all the current characters in the game as of 0.4 and plus. But today I'm also joined by my friend Commodus, which he's now switched back to NULL the God. Put a link to his channel. Yeah, and I think it might be my fault that I got him hooked on Baldi, so that may or may not be my fault.
No, I've liked this game ever since it came out in like 2018. So.
Alright, so before we get started, worth mentioning some rules. First up, you probably already can guess what the tiers are, so I'm going to explain them. So, just so people don't spam the comments why I left out certain characters. Alright, so rule number 1, for the character to be on this list, they have to be a physical character in the game. Like, they have to be shown, so they can't be alluded to like Joe, because he only makes like a verbal appearance, I guess you can say. He's not actually in the game.
He doesn't even actually show up in the game. It's just Mistman like acting out his voice in like one of his live streams.
Yeah, and so now rule 2: the character actually has to be physically inside of the school to count. Like, they can't just be on a poster or on one screen. I guess they kind of, Johnny would technically not fit that, but he interacts with you and actually has dialogue, so that counts as a character, as he would be a character. And I'm not gonna count, and it has to be like one specific character. Like, I'm not gonna count the normal Baldi and the camping Baldi and then the farm Baldi. That would just be all Baldi.
Yeah, he's not really even canonical anymore because the farming minigame got like taken out.
Yeah, but that will be back though. Alright, so since we've got everything worked out, let's begin. Baldi right here, and I'm actually going to put him in S tier in my opinion for now. Because...
Okay, so, here's the thing about Baldi, in my opinion. Baldi, yes, while he might be the main antagonist of the game, because really he's not a protagonist, but he's like in between, because he can switch moods, I guess, from being friendly to being hostile. But the way I see it is he deserves a high-ranked A tier because, yeah, while he is the main iconic character of the game, there's really only so many interactions you can have with him. Basically, where the entirety of the game, all he does is just act as the main obstacle you're trying to escape from. Really doesn't do anything else. That's why he does deserve a higher spot on the list, but just not high enough.
Yeah, I guess an high A tier would work because one of the reasons why I like him, not just because I can do his voice well, but also because, well, one of the reasons why I stuck to this game for so long is because it's just full of charm with all the characters. And Baldi, if it was just some other character not as charming as him, I probably would have stopped looking at this game. So I guess high A spot is where we're leaving him, and we'll go from there. Alright, place face. This is probably one of the most controversial opinions. I hate place face.
Okay, so, my opinion about place face is he really don't serve a purpose. Although there is some recognition between him and Baldi, but he doesn't really serve a canonical purpose. He's basically just a random character inside the game's file that really doesn't do anything.
Yeah, he's just like, I know he's a classic one, but he only exists as a placeholder, and he doesn't really appear much. Like,
yeah, I don't like him much either.
So, alright.
Like, he just doesn't really have a purpose.
Yeah, he is a classic character. Yes, we will give him that, though. That's pretty much it. Alright, playtime.
Been around the game, I think, like the very first version.
Yeah, alright, playtime. Let me explain first why she's in B. I feel like most people are saying, no, she should be F, she's so annoying. But Well, first off, she is one of the classic characters, and there kind of is some charm to her, just being a little girl who wants to play games. It is honestly kind of a little bit charming and heartwarming to me. I do just like
Yeah,
that. And
I
though,
do agree there, but thing is, as as heartwarming, not really, but basically, as nostalgic as a character she is, since she's been around since the game's release, the 15-second cooldown is absolutely atrocious, and it should be at least buffed to 30 seconds, if not more, because 15 seconds, she can literally just turn around in a hall and come back and force you to play with her again. That's one of the main
yeah.
problems I see with her.
Yeah,
Other
though,
than that, I really like it's a great character, but I think she's probably at low B tier or high C tier because I don't
yeah,
really see
I'll
any
put,
other
yeah, I put her in low B tier. Oh, even though she is very annoying in the game, like very annoying, you can lose her very easily. Just as soon as you turn a corner, enter a room, she forgets you existed. These skizzers basically just nullify her, pretty much.
You just call them skizzers.
Yeah, skizzers.
Bully. Okay, hear me out for this one. Bully as really like you don't see him much during gameplay, and if you do, that's kind of rare because he really tends to stick to the secluded halls. But
Yeah, and he has like a
Bully,
30-second cooldown as well.
yeah. But Bully is actually one of my favorite characters, not just because, and it's not because he stands there like doing nothing, because that's what I don't like about him. What I do like about him is like not just because he's a classic character from the beginning, but also because his voice is really cool. Like I like how Mistman edited his voice with I think it was
Yeah.
Audacity.
Yeah, I'm gonna
But
take your
the
cane.
voice is cool, and yeah, I do
Yeah, I
like
do like his voice.
how
No,
he
I'm gonna
works
bump
well.
him. I'm gonna bump him up a bit. The only one thing
Yeah.
that the only reason I put him in C is because you don't see him much. And if you
Now,
do see him,
I
you can
do
either
think
just
that Bully, yeah, I think the Bully probably either he's in B tier in my opinion because he's more of a classic, but not quite high enough to go into A tier since he's not an important character. And one of the things I don't like about him is he's not really that much of a concern because when you're in like per se Baldi's Basics Plus, when you have 5 items and you can get like 2 items every single room you come across, is really not that big of a deal.
let's talk about the principal.
All right.
This guy has gotten me
So
killed in Plus before, multiple times. Catches me running in the
yeah,
halls.
as
Tension for
much as
you.
I'd like to say that I do like Principal, there are quite a few flaws about him. There's also a lot of upsides. For example, I'd say
Yeah,
he can be great and uses like if he's nearby, he can either be really good to escape from Baldi or really bad because he might lead you straight to Baldi. And depending on the amount of times you've been caught by him, your time will increase until eventually it's like 99 seconds, which is ridiculous. That's basically game
yeah,
over.
which I'm pretty sure someone only like Daka would get that high.
Yeah.
Yeah, Principal,
But
he is a very
I
classic
like
character, yes, but he is very annoying in game
uh,
and has got me killed
now
before.
I do like how much interaction you can have with him though.
Alright, gonna sweep. Oh boy, sweepy boy. I know
Okay.
this
Um.
doesn't look good, though.
Okay. No,
The
listen.
thing
Here.
is,
Okay.
with gotta
So
sweep,
as
when he
useless
was
as
first,
gotta sweep is, let, let me let me talk. Okay.
okay,
But basically, as useless as gotta sweep seems, like there's almost nothing good that comes out of him. The fact that like once he sweeps you up with Baldi, you're kind of done for. Uh,
unless you have the boots.
I like Gotta Sweeps because not only is of how classic he is, his two voice lines, if you exclude the party one, uh, like it's so funny that it's hard not to hate him. Like just
Yeah,
this giant broom saying "Gotta sweep, sweep, sweep," and like looks like it's sweeping time. It's hard not to hate this character,
yeah, he
but
is funny. That's why he's not in lower, but Plus, with his he actually is a little bit useless because there's better characters that push you, like First
Now I
Prize
know.
or Cloudycopter.
Yeah, it's gonna upset a lot of God of Sweep fans. As much as I love the character, just the way that he's portrayed in the game sucks. So I'd say probably D tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So arts and crafters. I'm gonna put like arts and. I don't really know where to put arts and crafters. I'm putting them in B for now.
Arts and
Like,
well, let's talk. Yeah, he's shy. He only appears at like the end of the game, and it's rare to see him during the normal parts of the game. But arts and crafters, he's one of my favorite characters, not because of how loud he is, but because of like how much of a secret character he is. If you ever introduce a new player to Baldi, they'll be able to point out several characters just because
yeah, the
like
arts and
they've
crafters
seen
are like,
everything.
hey, what does this sock puppet thing
Yeah,
do?
they'll like never recognize arts and crafters if you're introducing someone new to Baldi. They can like point out several characters, arts and crafters. They'll be like, "What's that guy?" And while he only does do like one thing, it makes like two sounds. I think it's only one actually, but I'd honestly, this is gonna sound kind of strange, but I'd probably put arts and crafters in like A tier, just because
A.
of like how different he is from all the other characters. His main purpose is to literally try and get you killed at the end of the game if you look at him.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I think I will do that. The only thing I wish you could that did is that you could see more of him, and because he's only active until he collected all the notebooks, and even
Yeah.
then he's a one. He's just a one use. After he's done his thing, you never see him again. All right. The first prize.
All
I'm
right.
gonna do
All right.
this.
Let me share my opinion on this one. So not arts and crafts. First prize. Ever since the update where First Prize came out, because he's not technically a classic character. He came out like I think an update later, but
Yeah.
arts and not arts. I keep saying arts and crafts. Okay. First
First
prize.
prize.
He is one of my favorite characters in the game, not because of how cute he is as a robot, which is kind of weird saying that, but he's like a
Yeah.
really cute character. Uh, he reminds me of Wally a lot. But
Oh, really? It
arts and
reminds you of Wally?
crafters, I keep saying arts and crafters. I don't know why, but this is the last time I'll say that. First prize is one of my favorite characters because he's he's like a win or lose character. So first
Yeah,
prize,
and
if
he's so
Baldi's
helpful
chasing
as
you and he
well.
sees you down the hall, push you to safety, or he can be your worst enemy and push you straight into Baldi. But the chances of him actually pushing you into Baldi are a lot smaller because you can just duck into a room before he can even push you. Uh,
Yeah, and plus the fact that he turns very
yeah.
slowly when he hits a corner is a great way to control him because he's like
And
sweep, but he can control him a bit more. And there's the fact that he wants
yeah,
to hug
so
you. That's just so
you can definitely
nice.
use him as like yeah you can definitely use him as more of an advantage character than like an obstacle. Yeah.
There's a few items you can use to get out of him. Like you can use the scissors to strip his wires, and even the boots to get you out of there.
Yeah.
Though, plus I actually have a plushie of him. He's one of the best plushies I have. It's unofficial though. I just love this character a lot. All right, last pushing character. I'm gonna say Cloudy Copter is a little bit worse than Gotta Sweep.
All right. I'm gonna just point at this out now. Let's be honest. Cloudy Copter fans, we don't really know if you're out there, but if you are, at least deserve a little bit of recognition. This character is god awful. Literally, all he does is just make a hallway in the school hard to get through or push you. But instead of being a win or lose character, he's more of a lose character because you're often, even though the hallway can push you faster down, it's still harder to enter rooms and stuff, and that's still
Yeah,
bad because you can like still push you straight into Baldi.
yeah, he kind of feels like a slightly mobile conveyor belt, pretty much.
Yeah. And
Cause
the first time he was introduced made him even worse introduction because he was basically your main enemy in the
can't
camping
and
mini
the
game where you had to
yeah,
yeah, he would put
which
out fire. So
which I feel like
besides
that was
that,
the only
no,
reason why I feel like that was the only reason why Miss Man made him, because he wanted a character to blow out the fire, and he didn't really know what to do with this character after the camping demo. So he just slapped him
So
plus.
unfortunately, I'm gonna have to admit, Cloudy Copter is gonna be our first F tier because really
First F for Cloudy. Alright. Chockles. Sorry, Chockles fans. He's not awful, because to be honest, I honestly kind of like his laugh. It's a little bit creepy,
Chuckles is
but
an
also,
interesting character,
yeah. And I think in
but
Plus, recently, in Plus, he was actually updated, so now he actually spawns in the faculty rooms as well. Which,
so
boy.
Chuckles, he's an interesting one. Not too like I don't care too much for Chuckles, um, but you can give him a little bit of credit for his laugh, and basically he's more of a character that basically alerts Baldi to where you are and just traps you in a room for a couple seconds. So,
And you have time to escape
uh,
from him as well. Because I think it takes like,
yeah,
I think it's like 10 seconds before he becomes active. And
yeah.
even if he
So
does lock
not
you in
too
the
much
room, you
recommend
can.
for Chuckles. So I'd say probably C tier because at least he can do something.
See? Alright, I'll put him at the bottom of C tier. Chuckles. Oh boy, beans, beans, beans. Boy, beans. Where
Beans.
to start with him? I
All
will
right,
say his
so
voice is kind of fun to listen to. I like his voice a little bit. Though, he's not a great character, in my opinion. Sorry for kindly Keen fans that like Beans.
really I don't know why he has like 26 or 27 different voice lines, which is like the most out of any other
Yeah, it's way
character.
too much. I think it's more than Baldi.
Yeah. It is. I'm pretty sure it's more than Baldi even. Maybe not. Like I think Baldi has probably a lot of more scrapped voice lines in the code
Yeah.
somewhere. But
I
Beans,
think.
he really, he cracks unfunny jokes. He just goes around the school, and his main purpose is to slow you down for 10 seconds immensely, and that can
He
be
can
like
he can
that's
hit
really
Baldi
bad.
and other characters. He can do that
Yeah.
though. That
I guess he
that
can
honestly
hit
rarely
other characters,
happens.
yeah, which is his good side. Now, a lot of people say they hate Beans a lot, which I can understand, but at the same time, it's so easy to dodge the bubble gum. You literally just duck into a room and it easily hits whatever's behind you, which can be
And plus, you
useful
can
in a
cut
lot of
yourself out
scenarios,
of the gun with the
especially.
scissors as well. So next character, I honestly really do like Mrs. Pomp. Like
Yeah,
when
Mrs. Pomp is definitely a cooler. She's
yeah,
definitely the scariest character in the game, with a lot of people getting absolutely jump scared because out of like absolute nowhere, 2 seconds, you just hear
she
clomp, 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 and then all of a sudden she's behind you or in front of you, staring at you,
he is
saying,
screaming at
Just
you.
reminding you to be in my class. Yeah, just reminding you to be in my class in 2 minutes." And she's really cool. Like I like her sound design and how she works. The fact that she jumps every time she moves to
Yeah,
indicate that
that's
she's
on.
just a shoe with that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like her design as well. How she's literally just in a high-heeled shoe. That's honestly really
Yeah.
creative.
And she did definitely add a new type of character experience to the game where it's basically you need to be here in this amount of time, but it's like a random event, like it'll happen, and if you don't get there in time, then something bad happens, which it's
Yeah, it's sort of like a
yeah,
random. It's sort of like a random event, but it happens more than once, and there's dire consequences if you don't do it. So now we're on to the test.
ooh, one of my favorite characters. All right, so the test, I really like his eeriness. He definitely stands out from all the other characters because not only is he like one of the only immobile characters in the game that don't really advance towards the player unless the character faces away. It's basically the game's version of the Weeping Angel video games, which are always like the scariest enemies.
Yeah,
The test portrayed.
the test is definitely very eerie. Some people might know him as Test Dizzard from Party Style, though the test is the full version,
Yeah,
and
I like his audio.
yeah, his audio is definitely very eerie, and he definitely helps make Plus more of a horror game than the original.
Yep. So not much else to say about Test because as much as he doesn't appear a lot. So
Yeah, only
honestly,
on
I think
third
he'd be
floor
up.
3.
Well, yeah, the only way to get to him is from floor 3. Even then, he doesn't even appear much. So unfortunately, we can't rank him that high compared to other characters. But well, actually, no, he'd still be pretty high up there. But normally, if he would appear more and you would see him more often, I think he'd probably deserve somewhere around like first prize, just because of how different he is of the game, and like how he's just like such an interesting character and really makes the game worth playing. But since he barely appears at all, I think he'd probably go back down in like S tier with Mrs. Pomp, with like a 3D model.
Yeah, and since his body's a 3D model, and his head is 2D, no matter where you're looking at him from, no matter which side, his head is always looking at you, which I think
Yeah,
is
that just
really
makes it even
creepy.
scarier. Yeah.
Alright, Johnny time.
Now,
So we're
Johnny, normally I'd rank Johnny a lot higher, but because he's only found in one spot of plus, which is the elevator after rounds to congratulate you, um, he's not gonna be ranked as high. However, if you've ever played a horror game, there's always that one character, well, usually, that makes the game not scary once you meet them. Basically, like you feel like you're at a checkpoint or something, which is basically Johnny. Because not only is he a shopkeeper and he'll sell you items to help you progress through the game, but he's also really interesting and cool. His voice lines are also really cool because I think it was Mishman's sister who voiced him and Mrs. Pomp.
yeah, it's really cool how she does both these characters, and also, know how like in a crappy old game like Baldi's been be parodying, like this character would fit in pretty much any one of those, and I think it's really cool how there's like a character like this that's in the
Yeah.
game. Still not really much to say about Johnny, but still as a character, he's still, or she, I don't really know the gender, but they are
No,
pretty
he's definitely
good
a
character. All right, now the
dude.
Red
I don't know why
Baldoon.
he's
Red Baldoon. I don't really like the Red Baldoon.
Red Baldi, he really doesn't even have a purpose except for glitch mode.
Yeah, and also they do appear at the end of Party Style, because they like destroy the school at the end of it. Though aside from that and an appearance in Glitch Style, there's not really much to him, and that's pretty much the only reason what. It's pretty much the only reason why he's not an F tier is because there are some stuff about him, like he is in glitch style, which is still null style, so can't complain there. And they kind of are a little bit creepy because they don't say anything, but still, there's not really much to them other than that.
Yeah, and the amount of disappointment that comes out of glitch mode and like after it's replaced by null mode. Well, actually, null mode is replaced by glitch mode, but
Yeah.
the amount of disappointment that you get when you have to it's basically the same as null mode except it's red balloon or red balloon. It's just not fun. So yeah, definitely not a high ranking character.
Yeah, he is better than PlaySpace because PlaySpace doesn't really do anything, but still, he's not high up here. His ranked higher is Bladder, in my opinion.
Yeah, Bladder.
And the amount of times I said
Bladder,
my opinion in this video, jeez.
Yeah, Bladder. Bladder he's up there a lot, despite being a joke character, only visible in like one spot of I think it's plus. Right?
Demo style. Yeah, it's demo style. Because you have to place the poster somewhere.
Yeah, if you place the poster, there's a secret room where you can find Bladder. But what's funny about Bladder is that he's basically a joke to mock all those like trash rip-off games, like Baldi Granny or like Baldi blah blah blah, like those stupid mobile rip-off games. And
yeah,
it just makes it so funny to find something like that. The own creator, Mistman himself, is creating like goofy knockoffs to show. It's like a knockoff of a knockoff, which makes it even funnier.
Yeah, and also I just like the fact that if you make a crappy bootleg of Baldi's Basics, you get trapped within the walls of the schoolhouse forever. Just an idea like that is honestly really funny to me. Alright, me. What's there really to say about me? Like, it's basically
Honestly,
just developed.
Look, Mistman's already put himself in the game twice, so he didn't need to put himself in the game a third time.
Yeah, he's the
And
principal,
this time
and he's null.
Yeah, and me is just honestly a big disappointment because it's literally just who replaces Null at the end of glitch ending or glitch mode. I keep, but yeah. So honestly, me is just a big disappointing. We already have 2 other characters who are Mistman, so I honestly think me also does absolutely nothing. So
He only has
as
one
much as I
line in
didn't
the
want to say
game.
this, yeah, as much as I didn't want to say this, I'm pretty sure me should probably go in F because I know me's the creator, but still, the creator's already in the game in 2 different characters, so me
Yeah, I
probably
think.
F.
Yeah, you should go below Cloudicopter because he only has one line and nothing else.
Yeah.
I feel like
At
at
least
the end of
Cloudicopter
Glitch.
actually has his use.
Yeah, and I think at the end of Glitch Style they should have had something else. Like they should have Baldi appear at the end of it, like on all the others, and say, "Wow,
Yeah.
you managed to get here, impressive," or something like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe the principal could say, "No breaking the fourth wall in the halls" or something, just to reuse that. That would have been a funnier secret. Alright, now we're on. Alright, now we're on to the Baldoons. I don't really like Baldoons.
Yeah, they're kind of like play space. They have almost no interaction, except that when you look at them, they play like a really loud sound, I think.
And also, their only use is in party style for one puzzle.
Yeah, so
for only one ending you're probably not going to get again.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
definitely not F tier worthy, but I think at least D tier because at least they have like they're a secret character. You know?
Yeah, and for all people that are wondering why the red Baldoons aren't in with the other Baldoons, is because they do different things. One destroys a school and has a bad boss fight, and the other one is just there for one puzzle, and that's it.
Yeah.
Alright everyone, this is the newest character that was added, Dr. Reflex. Dr. Reflex is S.
We already placed Dr. Reflex in S tier because although it's not actually out yet, we've seen other people play, or at least I have, like the demo with Reflex in it, because I don't think the update's actually dropped yet. But basically,
no,
Dr.
it's going to drop Monday.
Really cool. Yeah, Dr. Reflex is a really interesting and cool character. I like his walking. He's the only character that actually has animations in game that are like walking, like 3D walking animations. Really, I mean,
yeah, like I know Beans has animations, but they're not really that much walking animations.
Yeah, they're not like 3D. You know, like you can see Reflex like running, and with a hammer and stuff. So Reflex
yeah,
is
and actually
really
hitting people with the hammer as well, which that's honestly really cool to see him do that.
Yeah, the way he works is really cool. He's basically like this character that he's a distraction character, and if you don't like you have a choice whether to take the test or not, and if you don't take the test, basically he will chase after you with a hammer and flatten you which prevents you from grabbing notebooks, I think. But
yeah, you can't grab them. And also, whatever character he runs into with the hammer, he also flattens them, and they can't hurt you. Wait, I don't think much people know about that, but he can do that.
No, I've seen that happen. There's one person was playing a live stream where Baldi got flattened and couldn't hit him, I think.
No, hopefully when the update comes out, I'll play some Plus and actually see Dr. Reflex in action.
Yeah. So overall, Dr. Reflex, really cool character, definitely took the longest to make out of any other character, I guarantee, since it's a
Yeah, he's
literal
the
fully
reason why
functioning.
4.0 or 0.4 took the longest to make.
Yeah,
Because he's a
the only
claymated character.
yeah he's the only 3D modeled clay character that has walking animations, which is interesting. And his like test doohickey gimmick is really cool. He has his own room too, so that's pretty interesting. So
Yeah, the
yeah, definitely a
clinic,
well earned
which
S tier.
yeah, I hope the clinic actually does get better updates to because right now it looks kind of bland.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, we're up to the final character. In my opinion, one of the coolest
Null.
characters.
Yeah.
Null.
Null is just an
He is
instant P tier. Like,
yeah, he's
yeah.
the best character in the game. All right, so
Basically,
who
there's
Null
not much
is
else to
that?
say. Null is just yeah, he's just the best
Yeah,
character in the game by far.
yeah,
Not only is he Mistman himself, but uh he's basically like the final antagonist of Classic Remastered and the main antagonist of the entire franchise, unless you count Baldi. But Null is basically like the final boss. So
yeah, yeah. Null is not like all the other characters. He's not like up around the school. No, he's hidden and locked behind some of the hardest challenges in the entire game. And he's pretty much the reason why anyone should play Classic Remastered. By the way, if you haven't played Classic Remastered, freaking play it, it's free. And like he's just a really cool character, and he may or may not return in Plus. He may or may not.
I think Null might return in Plus. You know how? There's this poster on the wall, and I forgot what it says, but it's like in red words. If you there's green, blue, and red words, but if you only read the red words, it says you can't escape or something like that. So I'm pretty sure that's Null talking to us.
Yeah, plus at the end of Plus, when it has the weird bugged out ending with bad stuff in the back, that actually refers to Null by name. So clearly he is still planned.
At least we hope. So
Yeah, plus
Null
he can actually.
Null definitely earns his well-deserved spot in P tier. Definitely the best character in the game by far.
And he's really the only one who actually knows that he's in the game. Which meta humor and
Yeah, he's like Flowey from Undertale.
Yeah, and just like Flowey tries to take control of it to get you to leave. Well, not exactly like Flowey, but somewhat.
Self-aware of them being in a game. That's what I like most about characters is in like horror games or lore-based games. Whenever they know that they're inside of a game and that you're playing the game, that's just like really cool.
Yeah. Well, anyways, everyone, this has been the Baldi's A6 Plus tier list video with all of the characters as of 0.4, and here we all here. Thank you so much for watching, sticking through to the end. Please subscribe to the channel and also check out Manila's stuff. He makes some pretty cool stuff. Well, everyone, leave a like on this video if you want to see more Baldi. I'm Preston, this is Manila, and we'll both see you in, well, whatever comes next. Goodbye.